Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live, and yeah, we've had a wee bit of a change of scenery. Some of you will know already, but we're here for Game Week 5, the Sorare Deadline Preview Show. I am Quinny, and I'm joined as always by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, back for another Friday, big one. We're back to even. We're back to odd numbers, aren't we, for the weekend? Which is, yeah, throwing my OCD off a little bit, mate. But yeah, no, happy to be here. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, I did kind of think that when we got Game Week 1 the last weekend. I was like, we just bloody got those even numbers back and how it's going. But yeah, I'm all good, mate. Thanks very much for asking. What about yourself?
Yeah, doing well, mate. Doing well. Excited for the weekend. Probably, yeah, after building lineups last night, I think this is the most lineups I've ever put out in a weekend. So, yeah, I think we're ready to go.
I think we are. And I think, like, because of the way my week has went from Tuesday night, every day has felt like Friday to me. It feels like every day I've looked at my team thinking, crap, the deadline's like tomorrow, but obviously it's not. And yeah, we've got lots of moves and shakes. We've had the Champions League draw yesterday. We've had the Europa and the Conference League draw today. And Sorare are doing a little Brucey promotion thing over the weekend. If I can go and grab this up, and we'll open the door with this one, and we'll have a wee chat over it. We've both got some pretty tasty Mr. Midweek to check up on as well. But we've got the special weekly to meet Zidane and all the rest of it. But where is it? Yeah, there it's there. Decisive weekend, Harry boy. 48 hours to scout decisive players by a guy from midnight tonight, so like the first minute of Saturday, through to the last minute of Sunday. Anyone who gets a decisive action gets a reward box for your new purchases. Now, I've not been into all the T's and C's. Is this primary market only, Harry? Have you checked?
It's primary and auctions, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So no secondary market kind of sniping or anything like that. So I don't really know. So when I first seen this, I thought my first instincts was this is one of their aces up their sleeve. There's been a wee bit of murmuring, there's been a wee bit of complaining about like, oh, I got so many points and I didn't win the lottery and, you know, all that kind of thing. And I think like the card prizes, as we've spoke about on this show last week, I think, and a couple of other live streams, your podcast and a bunch of our shows over the last couple of weeks, winning cards is really hard. And the main way to win cards is by essence and boxes and all the rest of it. And I've always maintained the belief that they will be hyper paranoid about dishing out too much essence too quickly. So I think what they've done to this stage has been like quite conservative, knowing that, you know, once we're on game week 5, so we've had 4 game weeks. So after the first 4 game weeks, right, okay, well, how much more essence could we have gave away? X amount. Cool. Let's put it into some boxes and let's give reasons to people to go and buy cards. Sorry, whack the mic.
No, it's a funky little way of doing it, isn't it? I think we've mentioned this before, but Sorare seem to always have like a weird ace up their sleeve, don't they? As far as like how they actually distribute these little offers and stuff. Like it's never what we like think they're gonna do, if that makes sense. Which is a good thing. Like they're always sort of innovating in some ways. I know there's you could argue that they're behind on other things, but that's besides the point. It's just like no one really saw this one coming. It's basically like in play purchase in a lot of ways, and I think it actually I think you can qualify even if like after the decisive as well, right? Like it's before and after.
Yeah, I was going to call it in-play decisives, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, in-play DAs, yeah, that's what it is.
IPDs, get them back, you know. It's going to be deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah, PTSD. I was going to say something else as well. What was I going to say? Of course, it's only limited only. So, when you mentioned like, holding back on the essence, I don't think this really works in rare as much, clearly, because they haven't done it. Maybe they will. Who knows? I haven't done the numbers. I'm sure that Peter would or has. But yeah, it feels like they can do that in limited, if that makes sense, because they're nowhere near the amount minted for new season cards. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, and yeah, we'll see if we. I mean, I don't know whether we'll be able to track it, but I'm sure there'll be a lot more buying this weekend maybe than there would be before. But you can win a star rare in there as well, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, star card for 1%, and look at the essence volume, huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, are we going to see people just buying up like really cheap cards for collections? Because that
is it multi-entry? Can we buy like 5 guys?
Surely
$5?
It can't just be one, can it? because that could be a bit of a cheat code, right? Like buy your collection this weekend type of thing.
If they score goals and stuff.
If they score goals and stuff, of course, yeah.
So these are the decisive actions we're going for. I've had a few new series on the channel as well, Harry. We've launched Zero to Hero, the kind of revamped Road to Glory effort, and I tried that Rivals kind of thing. Sadly, with all the kind of moving and logistics, I've not got any like pre-record setup, so we'll catch that stuff after the game week has went. But I'm quite tempted to get on the action with this, to get a wee limited, try and get that decisive, maybe before it goes in, try and get somebody maybe a wee bit cheaper, because maybe some of these guys will jump in price a couple of quid. And maybe use that to, I didn't realize it was limited only. I was kind of eyeing it up for rare, to be honest with you, but I've got that I've seen this guy and that guy, so I might go and have a wee foray into the market myself for this. But if it's limited only, it would just be to enhance those Zero to Hero stuff, Road to Glories and all the rest of it. Were you thinking about dabbling in this yourself?
Again, similarly, yeah, if it was rare, then I might have, but I'm doing a Road to Glory similar to yourself, and yeah, I'm restricted by budget at this point, so if I had a budget to spend, then yeah, it might have made a bit of sense. But no, not for me. I'm just going to be grinding Rivals this weekend for my Road to Glory.
Fair play. Likewise with me. And yeah, lots of heroes and legends joining the chat. Andy Laird, you missed it all, mate. You better go back to the beginning. Nep and the Z, good to see you, Adriano. Everyone's in dropping their fist bumps. Love to see it, guys. But yeah, before we get into the twos and the throws, like we normally do, predicted lineups, game week strategy, and all the rest of it. I've definitely lost my I won't be able to watch all the games I'm used to watching while working in between A and B. But we've had some pretty juicy Mr. Midweek now. I don't mind telling you, guys, I had an absolute boss midweek. We've seen it was all in La Liga. We had the Sociedad guys, we had the Girona guys. Look at this, Harry. I had 2 red cards in my squad, and I managed to link the rares and the super rares together for both of them.
That reminds me of this weekend, my Road to Glory. 2 of my players basically both broke their legs in the same lineup.
Ouch. 2 leg
that
breakers.
is, quite kind of, yeah. Well, one's a stress fracture, but yeah, basically the same. I'm going to count it anyway. But yeah, 2 red cards is some going, mate, in one lineup.
2 lineups for the same guys.
Well, yeah, 2.
Managed to keep them together so they didn't kill other lineups, which is maybe a blessing. I don't know. But Harry boy, I'm getting big deja vu. This time last year, I said I want a podium. I want to win Cap 240 Super Rare once or twice, and I won it last year, like a couple of game weeks into the season. And the midfield that weekend was Braze and Yanghel. And when Yanghel got the decisive in this one, and when I seen I didn't pair him with Braze, I was like, oh no, that's going to do me. I'm going to finish like 5th or something, But Jasper Killison came in clutch at the end, keeping Real Madrid at bay. I don't know if you've seen the game, but Real Madrid's goal was a penalty, and Killison was like, if he didn't cut his fingernails, he'd have saved it. Like it was like everything right way. Oh, now there'd have been a pen save, clean sheet. It'd have been, but we won anyway. So
yeah, it didn't really matter, did it?
we've got a juicy tier 3, and you were asking me about the reward pool. A few people have been.
Who is in there? Is there any goalies in there? Let's have a look.
I should finish close to the top, but I don't really know what the top of this looks like, because you think this top is like the best, but see if you scroll down,
yeah,
there's some guys down here that are top order tier 2s or tier 3s, whatever it is, like Okoye, Cunha, Aspas. Aspas is a bit old.
Amazing.
Ferland Mendy, if he's fit.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if you got Alvaro Velez and then he moves to Betis.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Jonathan Klaus.
Oh, mate. Yeah, there's some actually really... Oh, is this pool huge? Keep scrolling. Is it?
Oh, I mean, it's massive.
Oh,
it's
my
huge.
God.
And Paqueta's down here.
That's ridiculous.
Eva Nielsen's down here. So I don't really know what the top of the pool actually is. Is this actually an order? Because it just looks like a pick and mix.
Sillerson. Yeah, I mean, you've probably got to factor midweek into it somewhat. But, mate, yeah, you could literally, there's so many different players in there. But, I mean, you've got half a chance, and it's a 4-star box as well. So,
we cheeky 20 essence wouldn't hurt either.
That wouldn't go amiss. That's really good, mate. I'm buzzing for you.
And last weekend we got the weekend before we got promoted into D. So I'm in D1 Super Rare now for Champ. Yay!
Yeah.
And weekends ago, or game week 1, we got promoted into D1 at the rare level, and again finished 15th. No cards, sadly, but we all got a box, 5-star box, no less. So could really pop up the essence for us, which would be lovely. So nice wee bit of rewards tonight. Should be good fun. But otherwise, yeah, nothing else really happened. I actually think I maybe got another box. I did. Under 23, 4-man effort.
Ooh.
Captain Bernaby.
Wow.
D4 play.
Beautiful.
Like I said, division selection is a skill.
Yeah. If you have it available, like I don't have I what did I go in? I got promoted on the weekend, so I had no Division 3s actually for this midweek for U23. I only had 4-man efforts as well. So yeah, it's always nice to have that little the third team that you might not use all the time to come in clutch on a little midweek. Yeah, fair play.
But you also had some midweek action, Harry boy.
I did, mate. I did. I did the opposite of you. I think Laird asked me in one of the streams. He was like, where are you going to play your lineups? Or somebody might have asked a question like, is it going to be La Liga or Champ? And I was like, I really think if I'm going to do anything, it has to be in La Liga because the prize pool is quote unquote better, as in like there was just more cash at the top, both D1s. And I mean, yeah, it's backfired, in the nicest way possible. In that, if I would have played this in Champ where you'd played yours, I would have finished third, which is still a tier 2. It would have been a Champ tier 2, not a La Liga tier 2, but I would have won a bit of cash. I think it was 0.04. So I have sort of missed out a bit on there. But this wasn't even in the question because Quinny, I had to bring in a goalkeeper to make this lineup possible. With Velez, my only La Liga goalkeeper, going on strike right now. I don't have a keeper, so I have like these 4 outfielders. I have Rodrigo, whatever. I have a bit of a Real Madrid stack, and no goalie to go with it. So I did have to go into the market and get myself a Soriano, clean sheet for him, which was amazing. And I was, unfortunately praying that Courtois wouldn't get a clean sheet because that obviously helps me, differentiate myself a little bit in the leaderboards. But yeah, just disappointing. Too many big BCM, and of course Vinny did as well. I know he scored, which obviously helped me. And yeah, I was 19 points off the top. So if he scores that goal to a many, I probably win it. And easy to say, of course. Militao had a really late yellow card as well. So that was like, what's that? 5-7 points off. What does that even do anything? I still finished in tier 2. So it is what it is. I'm buzzing with it because I could end up pulling an in-season goalie, which would be quite fun. The pool's weird. Like you've got Barco in there. There's a couple of decent cards in there, but there's also a few stinkers as well. But the pool's nowhere near as sort of vast as that Champ pool. So maybe it's a blessing that I'm just La Liga, if that makes sense, as far as the prize goes. And I do get a 5-star box as well to go with it. So I'm only on 3 essence right now. So yeah, if we hit 20, then I'm obviously full sending it. The tier 5 plus. But no, I'm buzzing with it. I'm happy I bought the goalie, and I'm happy it kind of worked out in the way I kind of planned it. It was a really late switch up. It would have been Modric or Pedri for that extra midfield position, and I had a weird feeling about Pedri. I don't know what it was, even though he was away. I know Modric was away as well, but I don't know. Pedri put up some good AA the game before, and I just had a good feeling about it. And yeah, sometimes you just need a bit of luck on your side and trust your gut, I guess.
Yeah, well, finishing top 10 is always a good result, but yeah, it's when you've got those opportunities to maybe strike it gold, you're definitely be kicking yourself a wee bit, but yeah, so some good Mr. Midweek from both of us. Good to see we're back in the European season. We're kicking ass and taking names. But Harry Boy, it's definitely that point in the stream. Let's have a look at the matchups tab. Who is actually going to be the movers and shakers this weekend?
So, I mean, weirdly enough, there is obviously a lot of homes in there, which is expected, but just one team, above an 80% win percentage, which I know there's a couple close to it, but I found that a little bit strange in that, normally we're seeing multiple, 80 pluses quite comfortably. And the other thing I was going to mention, just as like an overarching statement before we end up getting into everything, I remember looking into the matchups a few days ago, and we had the whole fiasco of last weekend of scores astronomical and whatever. I've got I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to work it out, but I really think we're going to not see the exact opposite this weekend, because there obviously is some nice matchups, don't get me wrong. But overall, I don't see it being as much of an issue in that sense. Like I do think, there's gaps to be had, and there's definitely not as many absolute smashes this weekend.
Yeah, well, that top 5 definitely makes you recoil. But then you need to remember there's no All-Stars, no caps, there's no whatever. So 3 regions across the top 5 there, 3 of the big power hitters, and Champ, of course, Bayern and El Clasico, both sides of, all at home. and all have their own league competitions as well, which
Mhm.
might see them kind of funneled around a few places. But then, yeah, once you factor that in and you scroll past that top 5, like, yeah, there's nothing crazy
Like
scary, is there?
to see like an MLS team in like almost the top 10, that is quite rare. And let me
Yeah.
just add, no Lucho Acosta for Cincinnati this weekend. So it's an Acosta-less Cincinnati, that is, at 68% win percentage. So that probably tells you how bad Montreal are.
Yeah.
And yeah, mate, honestly, like, I know it is pretty champ heavy. I wouldn't deny that. But like, as far as like contender goes, I know you got Zenit there, but they're the highest, and they're away. Strum Graz after that. I don't play contender, but it feels like that could be the play this weekend, mate. There's just nothing that really stands out. It's like there's no Salzburg at home. There's nothing to like. If Zenit were at home, then that would be even more of a worry, I guess. But you've got the J League games. There's a couple of J League games being cancelled because of typhoons and all sorts of things like that. Your boys are obviously in a big game. So I don't know. There's quite a few derbies. The Feyenoord Ajax game was called off, so that's completely null and void. I'm trying to think. Oh, Porto play Sporting. So there's quite a few big games this weekend across all different regions, which I think then just results in, I don't know, I just genuinely think we're going to get lower scores. And like I said, it's not an incredible take, but it feels quite obvious.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. And I say, when you look at the matchups tab, I can see totally where you're coming from with that. Just looking at them, all the regions kind of smashed together. Inter Atalanta, it could be a non-Inter clean sheet there, very feasibly, So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunities to be had there. And I think, like, the strategy I've had with the champion region over the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of talking about in videos and posts or whatever, is probably the sort of strategy everyone wants to have this weekend, where you're not relying on a team. You've just got, that guy's fine, that guy's fine, that guy's fine. Roll them together, out they go. Who's the captain, kind of thing. So yeah, it'll definitely be a Sorare players weekend. I think if you have not just leaned into, I've got a so and so collection or whatever, you've got a wee bit of, you can mix and match it a bit. Feels more of the anti-stack kind of situation this week, although 100%. It's not the special weekly. It's the Zidane and the top tacklers, Harry. I made my top tacklers team last night, by the way, and I've got some hope. I've got some real hope.
And we've got JPL special as well. So all the
JPL,
a lot of the Jupiler League teams will be in that, diluting Challenger. So yeah.
Ipswich Town revive talks are over Brosia. Keep it coming, guys. Anything breaker on the timeline? There was a bit of a fake news going around that Carter Vickers wasn't at Celtic training today, but I've been reassured that he is there. He is training. False alarm, guys. Cam it, Janet. But yeah, Harry, do you want to let's have a look at Contender, and we'll work our way up, because if the regions are quite open, we'll maybe look at the key games and just kind of cycle through them in a bit more of the old school fashion that we used to. Because yeah, looking at this, there's nothing that jumps off the page, really, is there, in terms of SO5 impact or dominant game in the region, is there?
No, and you've got to factor in, like, Zenit have no in-season cards, so there's a couple of situations there where, okay, you'll get the odd card, factored into the 1 out of the 4. Sanfrecce do have a good home fixture if that game goes ahead. I wouldn't be worried about Pachuca, really. Hamburg are decent. There's probably a little bit to be said there. Spartak, Barco, of course, could be quite punchy. And, like, I mean, seeing your lads, just outside of the 60 win percentage, like, no disrespect, but obviously that's a tough game for you guys. I know you're at home, but, like, are you really scared about anything else above you? Like, as far as this matchup tab goes?
I think it's a great game for us. I know it's odds and probability. You can't bill it as a good game for us, but it's a good game for us. Like, it really is. At home, I think, I don't want to jinx it, but I think Rangers have only won. I don't even think they have won. Maybe they have. I heard the statistic and I've just forgotten it as I went to recall it. But I think they've only won once at Celtic Park since, like, 2012 or something like that. Like, we always squish them these days, and we're spending big money. We're getting, record transfers coming in, guys, and so it's definitely a good time to be a Celtic fan and not a great time to be a Rangers fan. So I think, like, it's probably a pretty great game for us. And to be those odds in the derby is saying something, because normally, in times gone by, that's just not the case, So just scroll at the top, we'll throw some teams on. I think Zenit are top, aren't they? So we'll have a poke at Zenit, we'll have a wee peek at them. And Spartak, in case anyone is running them in Classic, does have those legacy stacks and all the rest of it. So here's the Zenit team. Don't recognise this goalkeeper. I think he's been there for a while. But Barrios, Wendell, Pedro Henrique, Claudinho, Douglas Santos, all the usual kind of hitters. Spartak Moscow, who, as we know, is the home of Ezekiel Barco and Jesus Medina. Look at that front four, man. That makes me excited seeing that. If you've got Moscow cards, all of them will be out of season, obviously, but that's a good.
Well, actually, Barco does have in season.
Of course.
Argentina cards. So he still manages to get in there. But yes, it's really exciting front four. Very SO5 friendly.
Yeah, big time. So again, I don't know if you'd be taking goalkeepers and defenders out of that, but could be not too half bad. Stuart Grat says up here on top, and we've got a chat comment saying that they're not actually that well built for all around and all the rest of it.
I didn't think so.
But the team they're playing is the team you want to be playing in Austria most of the time. Like Tyrol can get scudded by a couple of goals, So this is the team on screen that we expect to see for Stuart Graz. Birif in attack, Kaitashvili attacking mid, Gorank Stankovic in the hole, or in the engine room, sorry. Sherpin in goals. Looks fine enough. Yeah. It's weird to see that second top, I suppose, 72% chance to win. And then we've got Bundesliga 2, we've got Hamburgers, and they're at home to Preuben Münster.
Just a very low win percentage across the board, isn't it, in Contender? Like, I can't help but feel that it's just going to, like you said, it's just going to be a team of 5. A random 5. You might have a little, Barco, Spartak stack with, Ugalde or whatever, but yeah.
This could be a stack, Sanfrecce,
Yeah, this is a Lardinho special, isn't it?
Kawabi's back? Maybe somebody told me that. That rings a wee bell.
I didn't know that either.
That could be great.
Quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoyatani, the defender card, playing in midfield. He normally does well in midfield, AA-wise. Everyone knows, obviously, Sasaki and Osako. But Suta in attack, Higashi. There's definitely a stack here, isn't there? So, yeah, maybe watch out for them if they don't get typhooned out their face. And then, yeah, it's kind of Celtic, isn't it? So we'll just jump to that because it is a big game in Contender. It's one of the biggest games in world football. It's Celtic versus Rangers. The Celtic team's been updated 4 minutes ago to maybe put Vickers back in, like Bride's been on battle stations. This looks to be the Celtic team. I cannot really argue against this. I don't see Valley being integrated yet to play this game. I can't see Engels. Maybe Engels can come off the bench in this match. Over the years, we've had a lot of famous Derby debutants at Celtic. Some guys start, some guys come off the bench, but it's definitely a fixture where an unknown or a fresh face could make an appearance from the bench and be decisive. The game isn't confirmed to go ahead, but isn't confirmed off either. That'll be Sanfrecce, so we'll watch out for that one. But yeah, I think Celtic are in a great vein of form, SO5-wise, especially at the moment. We're seeing Cal McGregor actually get final third presence back, which has been brilliant. And yeah, I think the team picks itself. And I think really, like I said at the beginning of the season, Celtic will be a clean sheet machine with Kasper Schmeichel, and we've not conceded a goal yet, point blank. So do we concede against them? Maybe. But I'm not as worried about it as I would have been last year. Like last year, I always kind of gave them a goal coming into the game because it's like they'll probably get a penalty or, something will happen. But I'm not as defeatist in that regard this year as last year. I think Robin Propper's back. He was injured last weekend. Hefty in at left back. I think he's going to be a left winger. So it's going to be an interesting Rangers team if this is the way they shape up. Tavernier versus Maeda is a bit of a meme in Glasgow. Tavernier can't even live with Dyson. He really can't. So it'll be a great game to watch, I think. But Cherny, and then the new look kind of centre mid of Barron and Diamande. That's a wee bit of an unknown element into this game. Maybe they can get some joy. Maybe they can get something in this. But otherwise, I think it's going to be one-way traffic for the most part.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, so strong defensively. It's going to be tough to really see you concede him, but.
And on that note, guys, all the predicted lineups that we get and we use for the Sorare deadline show, as well as just what me and Harry use in our day-to-day life anyway, is on Predictorfy.com. You can find them at Predictorfy on any social media platform. The link is in the description of the stream down below. There is an early access offer on the go. If you sign up and use code Quinny Harry, you'll get it a little bit cheaper, and you'll be in the mix to get a mystery jersey as well. So don't forget to hit Quinny Harry on checkout or sign up or whatever it is. And yeah, just Predictorfy.com. You don't need to worry about what click you link, what link you click or how you get there. just go there, use the code at checkout or sign up. You'll get it a wee bit cheaper and you might win something. You'll support the stream, support the content for me and Harry. So thanks very much if you do so, guys. But yeah, that's where all the teams come from, is Predictorfy.
Little disclaimer on that one. It only the offer only counts with the all access, not the like regional packages, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it has to be like, the all access package. And I had to not help someone, but we had a bit of trouble last night. It's the referral code. Like there's two different codes. There's like a discount code, which we're not. I think we're in the referral code bit, which is like on the top right. If anyone's on that page right now, potentially, when you like go to pay, there's a referral code little slot basically to put Quinny Harry in. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, good catch, mate. Do you want to scroll down a little bit? Is there anything else interesting in Contender?
Mate, honestly, like,
no.
I just don't think there is, like, genuinely.
Zagreb versus Rijeka?
That's a big game.
Yeah, Salzburg, Vienna. Yeah, let's put them on.
But Zagreb being away, like, Salzburg.
That's not a good SO5 game.
Not really, no. Not really.
They're two good teams. There's the Rijeka team. And here's the Zagreb team. Beruna coming in here against, yeah.
I've also been told randomly, not that it really matters, but Ferdi Kadioglu's out for 6 weeks as well. So him and O'Reilly are both injured.
Wow. Jesus, unlucky Brighton. This is a Salzburg team to take Rapid Vienna on. If any are interested. Musa Yao. I think there's a good bit of hype about this guy, by the way.
Yeah, I think I saw Pep Linders come out and say, like, they like found him in some sort of like academy or something. Like, not, I don't know, it was some random thing, and they were like, who's this kid? Like, like he needs to be playing. Like he's very useful, and they've stuck him up front, and yeah, he's just been a revelation. So
really strong team from front to back. And then the Rapid Vienna team is on the screen for you now. Sangar missed last week. He looks to be back in as well. Yeah, decent enough. Maybe it won't be quite convincing for Salzburg as it normally is.
Probably not. I think Rapid went out last night, didn't they? They didn't qualify for whatever competition, Europa or Conference. Yeah, I think Braga had their number. So, yeah, gutted for them.
Marino's out as well.
Yeah, Marino. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ferdy's out, Sigus, Palsson. That's what somebody's just told me anyways.
Got a question here. Got a full stack of Austin FC, but there are some reason playing without any forward cards. Should I just play a sub attacker? No, just get a different attacker, mate. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. In terms of like, oh, they don't play for Austin because Austin don't score many goals anyway. So you probably don't want a forward for Austin unless it's Druise on form, which I don't know if we've had recently. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would just go and get somebody else, mate. Scroll down a little bit for us, Harry. Is there anything else halfway competitive, interesting? Hearts Dundee United. Maybe pop that on screen now. And then we'll move into Charlie's and we'll get to champ for the most part of this. What was I just looking at there? Oh yeah, Hearts Dundee United. Because Hearts were definitely one of these stacks I think a lot of people went into on the budget, you know, to get like third place in Scotland, win a lot of games, score some goals. Their transfer activity has been very, very good recently. And this team is really strong. Like, for the Scottish League, this is a really, really strong lineup. This Jerry Taylor was getting a lot of plaudits on his first game, his debut. He played against Rangers. The goalkeeper's back to being 50-50 after Hearts get eliminated last night, I think, themselves, actually. Boateng's in for Grant. Dan does an attack. Vargas and Shankland. Like this, there's a stack here. Again, the goalkeeper might be a problem for you this weekend, but midfield and attack and defence between Kent and Kingsley. A lot of good options here. And this is a Dundee United team they'll be facing off against. Anything else to check up on? I'm tempted to look at Motherwell because Lennon Miller, somebody was telling me, took all the set pieces. He smashed 100 last weekend. Mm-hmm. And just, yeah, he's playing a bit more, not calm, but he's got two defensive mids behind him. So he's just a bit more freer to grow and be himself. So I just thought I would check that out for my own selfish reasons. But there we go. I think towards the end of the show, we'll maybe take some requests for Contender.
Yeah, because there'll just be little bits and bobs, I think, spread out, but nothing like a league specific.
Yeah.
Challenges?
Yeah.
Come on then.
So PSV at the top, no surprise there. I could probably just bookmark that for every week. But the PSV team was just updated an hour ago. Oh, I don't know what the change has been, but there's a new face in the attack this week than what there normally is, and that's the Driosh guy.
Yeah, Noah Lang's been said he can rest or something, so Drew Edge comes in.
Richie keeps his place.
Yeah, nothing else really. They think, Shooten probably comes in. They've just signed Rick Karsdorp from Roma, so he'll probably displace Richie Ledesma at some point, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, pretty settled.
Yeah, looking strong, looking good. Tillman in the attack, Veerman and Shooten in the engine room. Back four kind of picks itself at this stage, just with Teze leaving and one or two other guys. They're playing the go-ahead Eagles, which I think, did they qualify for Europe? They maybe did. I don't know if they've been knocked out or whatever yet, but Twite, Adekanye, there's a few guys here.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to look at AZ, pretty high up if you want to keep on with Eredivisie maybe for a bit.
Yeah, great shout. This is the AZ team. Mignan in the hole. Troy Parrott spearhead. Little Coop keeping his job. This team's half alright, isn't it? No, AZ, it's not great, but
yeah, it's interesting. Parrott hasn't scored a goal yet, I don't think, from like in the league. So yeah, he hasn't been firing as much as I thought he would. Like he was doing really well in preseason. So yeah, maybe just needs to get that one and maybe sort of kicks on from there. Herenveen are quite high up because they play Nek Brada.
Somebody asked in the chat about Predictorfy if they've got Mexico, so I just thought I'd put it on screen. They do have Mexico one. They've got the team you asked for, so there's the team there, buddy, in case you're looking to check it out. You said Herenveen are up there. Oh yeah, they're playing Breda. So Herenveen's team is on screen. Van der Hart still in goals. Outside of that, I don't really know anyone here. Collingwood, of course, we all know. Bostonwick.
Sam Kirsten. Yeah, there's a couple of decent players.
And we have Ajax Feyenoord cancelled. So it's kind of Utrecht 20. Is this an interesting game?
Yeah, kind of ish. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing too exciting, I don't think.
Yeah. Fair enough. So it's the Eredivisie. And then we get to Turkey next, probably.
Yeah, so we've got Fener at home. I think Galero away. And what is the other one? Besiktas at home as well.
So this is the Fenerbahce team on screen. Fred got a hat-trick last weekend, for anyone that missed it.
Yeah.
Don't think anyone could believe it, not even Jose.
Not even Fred.
Not even Fred. Probably couldn't believe it either. He's probably just going through a constant stage of giving himself amnesia, like scoring the goal and then just like, okay, cool. And then it's like, just back to type every time. But this team's really strong. From the midfield upwards, it kind of picks itself, and we did not need to worry about the foreigner rule. It's kind of benefited them quite well. So, who are they playing? Alanyaspor. Could Alanyaspor break the clean sheet here? Yeah, I think they probably could, to be honest with you. Just as I like Ronnie Lopez, so I think maybe they could.
Cordova, I don't know. I think they'll be okay there, personally. Gala, though, away to Adana Demirspor.
Eliminated from the Champions League as well.
Yeah, big disappointment. Muslero's kicking people in the gut. Well, giving people rib ticklers and all sorts were going on in that game. I think Sarah, the new signing from Norwich, his missus had a baby, so that's why he's not in the predicted 11. And also people are, a little day off, weekend off, and it does seem like he's hasn't really hit the ground running either. So could be both reasons, but yeah.
So yeah, really strong team for them. They're playing Adama away. Adama are normally handy. They still get Maestro in midfield. Can't believe we're not getting that card. Nobody else, but don't really know here. So
Jonas Svensson, but yeah. Oh no, he plays for Besiktas now, isn't he? I think so.
Gianni Bruno in attack for Ajax and Midget so in midfield.
And Jonjo. This is the newly promoted team, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, this Katuku guy. I think he was like a German youth international for a minute.
I had like 10 of his card.
Yeah,
I bought up loads of him. Yeah. He was he was in Germany. He's at Schalke. I think he's got old Schalke cards. Yeah, he didn't really sort of fulfill any promise, but nice to see him playing.
This is a Trabzonspor team, which isn't that bad, by the way. Orsic, Visca, You know, okay, that guy's all right for a hatchet defender. The defense is kind of thing.
Barisic. Didn't know he moved.
Aye. So they signed Borna Barisic and John Lundstrom from Rangers for like nothing.
No way.
Yeah. But they're trying to cancel John Lundstrom's contract because of how bad he is already.
Wow.
Or the fans want it done anyway. I don't know if the club do, but the fans certainly do. This is the Besiktas team on screen for any that are after it. Ciro Immobile. He's still in attack.
Ciro and Rafa. They smashed, I think, yesterday 4-1. Gerson Fernandez as well did well. They're sneaky, I think, this season, Besiktas, like as far as SO5 goes. Really sneaky.
I would agree. Jonas Svensson in at right back. Matsuako, or whatever you call him, on the left. That's a decent little lineup as well, isn't
it? Yeah.
So between those Turkish ones, like, yeah, there's a few power players in there, isn't there? But I'm not sure there's a full stack.
Maybe not with Gala. I don't fancy Gala to keep a cleanie, but Fenner maybe though at home. I do worry that could be quite punchy, couldn't it? Like clean sheet wise and maybe offensively.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sigurd's saying there, Besiktas by far the best Turkish team. It seems that way. It does seem that way, and they're at home as well. So yeah, watch out for the Turkish stacks for sure.
Good one.
He's doing it all wrong, isn't he?
We're getting a lot of requests as well in the chat, guys. We'll do our best. Hamburg's actually already featured on the show if you want to scroll back. Orlando we can probably get to, and Midgetland we'll probably get to in this section as well anyway. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll do our best to get around them all. Should we? I think Portugal's probably next in terms of just easiness for going through. So we've only got the 3 teams to worry about, and 2 of them play each other. So we'll start with Benfica, since they're up there. They're they're at home. Sorry, I beg your pardon, to Morenese. This is the team looking really strong. And they've just signed Issa Kabore from Man City, the bombastic right back. So that could be a bit of an upgrade. And I'm seeing Araujo as well has been linked to
PSG.
Was it PSG? I thought it was PSG. I was going to say Leipzig, but I didn't think it was Leipzig.
They've just got Gertruder in, haven't they? So I don't know whether that... Because Simikan left, Gertruder's in for Leipzig. Maybe he was linked to both. I definitely saw him linked to PSG, though, 100%.
Oh, fair enough.
Maybe, but but definitely could have done both.
Florentino Luis is back in town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Flo's been doing okay. Let me down last week, but yeah, before that he was doing pretty well. Yeah, it's a fun team. By the way, I don't know why it shows Benfica on the left, but they are away, to be fair, so it's quite confusing.
I thought they were away until it came up like that.
And then, Sporting Porto, big one.
Yeah, Sporting v Porto. The back 3 seems pretty set. Debas still can't break in. There's another change to the midfield just with availability and all the rest of it. So Holmland comes back in. Front 3 is unchanged. I don't think Edwards started last week, did they? I think it was this front 3.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, decent Sporting team. And Porto, not too bad either. But a wee bit like Porto have always just get fucking somebody in fullback that should be there, you know.
What's Galano doing at left back?
It's always somebody. If it's not that Pepe guy, it's this Galano or I was thinking about Sporting there. Santos, João Mario, João Mario. That was another one.
They love a winger at right back, don't they? Or winger at left back. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, decent team. Your boy Jamie or however we're saying it, is running the show, and that'll be one for the neutrals. Again, hard to take players out of this for your SO5. I think could be low scoring, could be high scoring. I think the chat thinks it's high scoring, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it was low scoring. And on the person that was asking earlier about buying a forward that doesn't play for Austin, like LAFC, I see them on screen there. I think LA have probably got the best kind of roster of attackers, forward cards to choose from for the most part, especially now that Bogus doesn't look like he's leaving if he has a forward.
No, I think he's a mid. Columbus, isn't it? It's Cucho and Rossi have basically the best 2.
Columbus.
Luanga alone is good, but yeah, Cucho and Rossi, you can't beat them.
Let's run through MLS, okay? So we'll just hit on all the lineups, guys, and we'll just maybe say anything about them as we come to it. The Charlotte team, by the way, has gone up some levels. I think
they've got the best manager in the league for me outside of Nancy at Columbus. Like Dean Smith's done an absolutely amazing job with some very average players. Like he has sprinkled in a bit of quality, but like just brought Tim Ream the Dream in. Like they're looking, obviously Swiderski's come back, Abada, Vargas. They've got like a serious team. Like they're not like that fun to watch because I've watched them and they're just not. But like they grind out results, mate. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, Big Swiderski's definitely too good for MLS, but he couldn't quite cut it at Verona, so he's back.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, if you've got pace and you've got guys that can put the ball in the back of the net, and then a set piece taker,
Exactly.
then
Especially in the MLS, we know how big that is.
It's a good recipe, isn't it? They're at home to Atlanta United. Maranchuk looks to start this one. Otherwise, the team is really meh outside of Brooks Lennon.
Yeah, I've got myself a Maranchuk, but I'm not too I'm not risking him. I don't think he starts here. Like obviously it's basically 50-50. I don't know. I don't know if he's fit enough yet. From what a few
Charlotte are good at home, and Atlanta are bad away. So
yeah,
even if he does play,
disaster,
why bother? Like
exactly.
Since they were top of the food chain, so we'll put them on screen here. Since the team's quite unrecognizable to me, to be quite honest with you.
Mate, just like injuries, like I bought into their collect, like a few of their boys obviously started the season, Acosta and stuff. Miazga got injured really early on. They've gone through a bucket load of centre backs. So Robinson was at the Olympics. They've now brought in Christian something. He was like a free agent. He was in the MLS, went to Turkey. Someone will have to pull me up on that name. But I think you'll definitely recognize his name if someone gives it to us. That guy on the right, number 10 position, Nicholas Giacchino, whatever his name is. He was at St. Louis and then moved to Como, I believe, and didn't really do too much. And now he's back in the MLS at Cincy. So yeah, they've got weird team, revolving door feels like. Obviously Noah Costa this weekend, which is a big miss. And yeah, Orellano's been playing a bit further forward normally, but it looks like he might have to be back at sort of right wing back or left wing back, whatever, this weekend. So that's it. Yeah, Teenage Hadabe, is it? I'm not sure if you recognize that name, but he was definitely in the MLS at some point. So yeah, they've signed him, and yeah, I don't know. Weird season for Cincy, especially like the last couple of months.
Big time. And then we've got Columbus Crew, who won Leagues Cup, didn't they?
Yeah, they beat LAFC.
Nancy is a winning machine, as they say. That boy is. I thought he was really impressive at Montreal. That Montreal team he had punched above their weight, big time. And this team has just been a monster since he's been in charge. Scooping up something I think every season. Team's quite set. I'm always a bit annoyed to see Amundsen not nailed because he's always great when he plays, but they never stick with him all the time. Chicho in attack, Diego Rossi in support, Nagbe in midfield. Nagbe's honours list must be incredible, by the way, because Nagbe before he went to Columbus had won MLS Cup with at least 2 different teams.
Interesting.
Before going to Columbus, he'd already won it with Portland, and I want to say Atlanta. Was Nagbe at Atlanta? No, I can't remember. He's definitely won at least 2 MLSs before. Or maybe I can't remember. But anyway, he'll have some honours list as far as a native MLS American player and all the rest of it. So yeah, Nagbe. And they're playing my boys, NYC, on the road. And this is my top pick for the tacklers thing. Jimmy Sands.
Yeah, he's a bit of a cheat code, isn't he? If Sands is on it, he could literally scoop up 5 or 6 in a good day for him. This is the type of game that there might be a bit of turnover in midfield, and he's there to obviously chop up play and retain possession. So yeah, this is a Sands type of game, even though the odds are stacked against New York City here, being away to obviously probably the best team in the league. That doesn't mean to say he can't score well. You know what I'm saying? And especially for the tackle special weekly. So yeah, I like that. I like that shot a lot.
In the Leagues Cup match against Tigres, Tavon Gray got 8 tackles. 8.
Wow, that's a lot. Mexican teams, though, come on, they're rough and ready. Let's be honest. But no, I'm not saying he can't do it again. Tavon Gray is a good tackler as well. So I like it, mate. I like the thought process.
So that's a wee bit of an incline into what I'm playing in that region. We've got the Red Bulls there at home to the Philly, and this is the Red Bulls team. Still no Forsberg.
Yeah, I think he's training individually. I might have seen, or maybe I didn't, because he's not in the Swedish squad. So yeah, not looking great on him.
And then this is the Philly team. Quinn Sullivan starts. Wagner and Bizo.
They played midweek against Columbus in a game that was sort of brought back or forward or whatever because of the Leagues Cup game. So a little bit of lag maybe on them having to go away.
Yeah. I just want to say this as well, where we're kind of mentioning the top tackler thing. I just had the comment there and I've lost it, but someone's saying playing your forward cards that are defenders. This one. I don't know about you. We'll get into it in a bit more detail, but see, I got to the forward position. I just thought I'm finding the highest scoring guy. I don't care if he's good at tackling or not. I need the guy that's going to do 70, because, whatever. But just a thought I had. Maybe not think about it for the forward cards. Maybe I'm being naive. Or maybe that's not great game strategy, but yeah. So there's those guys. Next game up, we've got Orlando, which was a request in the chat. They're at home to Nashville. This is the Orlando team on screen. And I got to say that Angulo, Ojeda, Facundo, that's enough to scare most teams. This Cartagena guy's a tackler. I don't know how well he does, but I know he's a bit of a hatchet.
They've got a decent squad. They've definitely improved last sort of third of the season, big time. It's been clear to see their improvement for sure.
And they're playing Nashville. Joe Willis, Zimmerman, and Mayer back together. The band is back. Godoy could be a tackler in this one. Hanny gets all the fanny, is in the hole, and Moyles, Surridge, Schaffelberg, they all work hard and do okay, but they're not anything to write home about. But there we go. Toronto at home to DC. Toronto team on screen. Insigne is in the squad. Longstaff is in the squad. No Bernadeschi, Sean Johnson in goals. And in DC, I've got Big Benteke in attack, Click in the hole. And anything else? Yeah, the wing backs are quite fun. Pedro Santos and Aaron Herrera.
Yeah, they rested Aaron Herrera on the weekend. That one caught me out a little bit in my teams. But yeah, it looks like he's back in. He came off the bench, so yeah.
Hate it when that happens. We've got Austin, as mentioned before. They're at home to the Vancouver Whitecaps. This is their team on screen. Alexander Ring is back in midfield. Who thought they would see the day? Hedges in the defence. Brendan Hines-Ike. Mikael Dessler as well. That's fun to see. And we've got the return of Ryan Gauld. Vancouver just let him sit out. League Cup. They just said, Ryan, put your feet up, wee man. We don't need you. Take a month off. Keep yourself good and ready for the real action to come back. And there he is. Otherwise, I don't think anyone else cares about the rest of this team. It's the Ryan Gauld show, isn't it? Maybe that's just me.
It's first call up in 10 years, right? To your
about fucking time, isn't it? I've not read all the quotes around it because I thought this is something will get me upset, and I want to talk about it for about 10 minutes, and I didn't have the time to be distracted. But I definitely seen snippets of like Steve Clark saying or Ryan Gauld saying, there was lines of communication before, and there was some reason. I don't know, but yeah, finally he's back in the Scotland team. We could have used him for the Euros, but I suppose with the next international tournament being in North America, maybe Steve Clark is bending some of his principles for this one. We got the Chicago Fire at home to Inter Miami. Chicago Fire no longer have a Shaqiri in their ranks, of course. That's not new news. But yeah, Brady, Gutman, didn't know he was there. Acosta, Kuipers, Brian Gutierrez. There's some okay players here. Gaston Jimenez.
Yeah, they've been disappointing this season again, but
yeah, that's just Chicago Fire, isn't it? Inter Miami, no Messi, but otherwise team's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no Messi. They've kind of been able to sort of absorb him a little bit. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but Rojas has done pretty well. Redondo, Suarez, Diogo Gomez back from the Olympics, obviously Alba. Like their team's still very good. Adding Messi makes it very much better, but it's good enough. Like that team should still walk all over Chicago. But watch Chicago win 1-0 now, guaranteed.
Big biscuits in defence for top tackler.
Yeah, he's subject to lose his head though recently. He's been getting onto the refs, couple of red cards and bookings, and I don't know. It's a weird one with him right now.
This is Dallas at home to Colorado. Dallas team on screen. Peter Musa, Jesus Ferreira, Seb Leggett, Yara Iramendi. Some fun players here.
I picked up a Velasco Super Rare yesterday, Quinny.
No, you didn't. Really?
Yeah.
Well
done.
What's the thoughts on the 23?
Well, that and Challenger. I'm just really low on forwards in general in those two. Well, not in under 23, but definitely in Challenger. And I really rate him. I've always loved watching him, and just never been able to afford a Velasco card. So, yeah, it's nice to get one in.
Oh, GG's, mate. Well done. This is the Colorado team for anyone that wanted it. Salt Lake at home to New England. This is a Salt Lake team. Diego Goncalves, we mentioned last week. Diego Luna is in the fold again. Yeah, nobody else really. I can't really say much on. Heel is in town. Dylan Barrero on the wing. Harks and Polster in the engine room. Arriaga could be a big defender for the tackler one. And then how many? Oh, Jesus, still got a couple. We'll rattle through these. We've got LA at home at Houston. I think this is one of the better games. LA coming off a disappointing Leagues Cup final loss. And this would be a bit of a change of shape, wouldn't it? Like, I think they did play a bit of 3 at the back in the Leagues Cup, to be fair. But in general, like, this is quite bold, isn't it? Bogus and Sanchez in the midfield.
Yeah, I think Bogus normally plays a bit higher up, doesn't he? But I guess Oliveira coming in maybe, means that he has to, drop down a little bit. But I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure normally when we do these predictions, he's in that sort of front 3 rather than, the midfield 2. So that, is interesting. I guess Atuesta might be, I guess he could just get dropped, but Atuesta's normally in there, isn't he? In the engine room. So yeah, I don't know whether he's just can't be suspended. I guess, he's been dropped. And Tillman's been injured as well, Timothy Tillman. So maybe he's just filling in for a few absentees there.
And here's the Houston team. Ache, Blessing, Ponce, Siatchenko. Some fun players here. LA heavy favourite.
Yeah. I don't know. Could give him a game.
We've got a Cascadia derby. We've got Portland versus Seattle, the MLS version of Celtic versus Rangers.
Kind of a fun one, that.
Yeah, Mason Toy in attack. That's fun. Evander's back in the fold. Moreno, Eric Williamson, always injured, but he's back. Kripal, Claudio Bravo. There's a fun team here. They'll be sawing some logs, you've got to think. And then Seattle Sounders, is this full strength? Ish, isn't it?
It basically is, yeah.
Depends on your opinion on Rui Diaz, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Morris is on fire recently, so Rui Diaz is nowhere near it, realistically. Pedro de la Vega, that Paul Ruthock's been really good, the left winger. So it's kind of a toss-up between him and de la Vega, who hasn't really got going, even though he's obviously really good. Really good player, lots of promise, but not really produced yet. But they played midweek, Quinny, against LAFC in a Open Cup game, which wasn't covered. So that was a little sneaky one that,
Watch
might have went under the radar. Yeah.
This is a San Jose team against Minnesota. San Jose could have a few guys that are top tacklers because it's just the way they are. They're at home.
They just don't have the ball, so yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're playing Minnesota, who... Yeah, it feels like they're very much lacking in quality at the moment. Sangbin Jong is playing right wing back. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Kelvin Yeboah.
Welsh manager, Quinny.
Who's their manager?
Don't know his name. He's like 33. He's really young. He was at United. He was like a technical something.
Yeah. I remember speaking about that before. Yeah.
He's actually been doing well. He was doing really well. So can't think of his name off the top of my head, but yeah.
Final MLS match, we've got St. Louis City at home to the Galaxy. This is St. Louis' team. Do we have Hartel? We do. We've got Kessler. We've got Burke. Most of the main guys are here. Durkin, of course. No Klaus. Leuven is in the building.
That's it. Eric Ramsey. Thank you, Tob.
Eric Ramsey. There we go. And then this is a Galaxy team. Quite a strong defence. I'm not too familiar with the left back, but it must be said. Royce on to start. Peck finally get cards. People will be buzzing about that. Diego Fagundes and Panso.
No, Ricky Puig is suspended, so that's the big one.
Yeah, no Puig boy. So Royce has got some weight on his shoulders this week.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you've got the championship. You've obviously got the JPL. I mean, I guess we should kind of preview the JPL just because there is a special obviously going on.
Yeah.
This weekend, and I mean,
what time are we at?
No, we got a little while. Another hour.
Okay, let's have a look at the Belgians then. We'll just kind of rattle through these MLS style again as well. Okay, so the first game we've got is Genk at home to Westerlo. This is the Genk team on screen for you. Stoikers. Yeah, I think I remember this from last week. Like looking at this team, I think I don't really know half these guys anymore. But yeah, there it is.
This is probably one of the better fixtures on paper, but again, none of them are actually that amazing. Westerlo's striker Stassin has basically just been announced to go to Saint Etienne. So that's Frigan looks to be number 9 for the weekend.
Hradecki out for Leverkusen. Andreas, thanks for the catch.
Someone did pop that into the chat a bit earlier.
This is Mechelen at home to Charleroi. Storm and Schuss are playing, wouldn't you know it? Orton de Wolf in goals. Charleroi. Yusuf Badji in attack. Love to see a bit of that. Adam Zorgan in the engine room. That's kind of all I've got to say on that. Beerschot versus Dender. Both of the newly promoted cat amongst the pigeons teams that we've known over the last few years, head to head here. Ewan Henderson in attack, living his best life. Ryan Sanusi, fine. And then the Dender team is on screen for us now. Nathan Rhodes, Verrips in goal.
They've been the surprise package so far.
Yeah, big time.
Just scoring goals, winning games, and not really losing many games either.
Genk's goalkeeper is Van Krombrugge. Someone's asking, sorry. And then we get to Leuven, who had... Yeah, Leuven's the team that's got half of Japan in it, isn't it? No. Is it Leuven? Who's the team that's went and bought all of Japan?
Is it Saint Trudenese?
Yeah. I'm hearing rumours today. Somebody mentioned in the chat that Tomoki Iwata might be going to Birmingham City in League One.
Wow. Jesus.
And I was like, get this team on the phone. They'll take him.
Yeah, Belgium is the feeder league, isn't it? From Japan, it feels like, or to
So sorry, this is the Leuven team to get back on to track. Ominami's in there, Oscar Heel, and they're playing Standard Liège. Standard Liège team is on screen here. Aidan O'Neill and Isaac Price in the engine room together ahead of David Bates. A wee bit of the British Isles represented there, as it were. And then we got Brugge derby. Got a few head-to-heads this weekend, eh?
Yeah, a couple of big games. This is the best as far as percentages go, with Club Brugge being at home. Circle Brugge played last night, I believe, maybe in one of the conference qualifiers or whatever. So, yeah, maybe a bit of a hangover there. But, yeah, this is probably where you're going to see most of the big stacks outside of maybe Genk.
Yeah, I would definitely go along with that as well. Vanaken just brings it, doesn't it? This Cezolis has got a big reputation. Skov Olsen can do it. The Kuiper people love.
Lads in the chat saying how are Birmingham spending 10 mil on players? Tom Brady is their owner.
Yeah.
That's exactly how.
They've got a big owner. They signed as well Lyndon Dykes from QPR.
Oh wow, that's a random one.
So starting in the championship to go into start
he'll score goals. That's like a bit of a Paul Mullin move, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah. I was going to say somebody else, but that's a perfect one as well. I can't remember who I was going to say, but there's a few of those guys that just thrive in low league England, isn't there? Do you remember Jordan Rhodes?
Yeah, he was at Cardiff, Huddersfield.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Could score every goal you wanted in League One, but then above that, he was just like...
Couldn't score in the brothel in the champ. Well, he did. Yeah. He was okay in the champ, wasn't he, for a bit? I feel like he was okay. I can't remember.
Maybe. This is Anderlecht Ghent. Sorry, so the Ghent team's on screen in case you missed it. And then this is Antwerp's team. Dennis Adoy in defensive midfield. Doesn't feel optimal, but if that's the situation they're in, then it could be something for Ghent. USG Anderlecht is another big one, by the way. USG team on screen now.
Mm-hmm.
Koke Machida running the show. Anderlecht on screen. Quite consistent team, I think, over the last little while. Zanka, I didn't know they got him.
Yeah.
Koosman's in goal.
Yeah, Lucy Koos.
Lucy Koos. And in the final game, we've got Kortrijk against St. Truden. This is the Kortrijk team on screen for us now. Thierry Ambrose in attack.
So Cardiff have just signed Rocco Simic from Salzburg.
Oh, yeah. The forward.
But Kortrijk are a sister club of Cardiff. He's going on loan there. If anyone didn't know. That's
fun. And then we've got the J League Team of the Year. Oh, sorry, this is St. Truden. Leo Kagugo, Taniguchi, Fujita, Ogawa, Rayatori Ito, Raihito, Yamamoto. That's half the team, man. Straight out the J League. Got to love it. Laird's new favourite American striker in attack.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that closes off the Jupiler League. And then I mean, yeah,
Someone did ask for a few for the championships. I'll quickly scan on one or two of them for you. Norwich, I know there's a few Norwich fans in the house. There we go. Anti-Kranich on the start. That's fun. Someone asked for Stoke and Leeds. So here is Leeds playing Hull. This is the Leeds team. Matteo Joseph, who has just been called up to the Spain under 21s team.
Nice.
People have been telling me this is a kid to watch out for, and I definitely think that's a good indicator of talent. It's getting into the Spain team.
He's very good, very sharp. And
then Nonte, Perot, and Aronson. That's, Leeds should fire the championship again this year, even without Somerville and Rutter.
It's a good team.
Hull City on screen here. Pandur in over Vaciope. That's how you say it. Let's see. Oh, there's Burnley. Burnley will have some cards. Updated 3 minutes ago, so maybe this is new. Check it out, Burnley fans.
Ooh, Jaden Anthony, 50-50. I picked up a couple of his cards when that move got announced.
And then we've got the Stoke team here.
Yeah, Dan James is injured. Got a hamstring injury. Didn't make the Wales squad.
Jung Ho Bae is in. And did anyone else ask for something from this? Sheffield, Watford we'll put on since they've both got badges and it's made me click it. Chef's team is on the screen for you. Vinny Souza, top tackler, by the way, against Watford, maybe.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Fun.
I'm trying to think if there's any other. Oh, yeah, we did have a Danish request, I think. Was it Midgetland? Well, that's Copenhagen Brøndby, so we'll put them on screen. Copenhagen's team. There you go. Brøndby. All the cards are playing.
Yeah.
And then Midgetland, whatever we're calling them. Team is on screen. Awesome. And it's just about Champ, Harry. We've not even talked about Champ yet.
Haven't got on to Champ, have we? Yeah, I mean, that was where the All-Star main games were populated at the top. Bayern, Barca, Real, Arsenal. They're probably, you could probably include Man City. I mean, Napoli have a decent game as well at home. Like we said, Inter maybe not as good as it kind of shows. Yeah, I think those first 5 or 6 are punchy, aren't they? Across, Premier League, obviously La Liga and Bundes. So, yeah, like you said, do we see those sort of migrate into their natives, or are we going to see that in Champ?
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, that will definitely be a fun one this week because there is no clear strategy of do this. Everyone will be thinking for themselves and looking like we will later on before we get to the deadline. The head counts and what division you're in and how strong your team is and all the rest of it. With Bayern at the top, I think we'll start with Bundesliga and rattle that through. So the Bayern team is on screen here, and it is. This is kind of the Bayern we expected to see this year, isn't it? Under Vincent Kompany, Ulisse on the wing, Palfinha in the engine room next to Kimmich. Defense kind of picks itself on availability, but this is there could be a couple of 80 pluses here.
Yeah, there's some real potential here, isn't it? Like Musiala 100 type of potential. I know Ulisse didn't pop in the first game, but definitely could in this one.
The Freiburg team they're playing against isn't much to write home about. So, yeah, I think it's a good one for Bayern. And then we'll just go top to bottom otherwise on Bundesliga. So we've got Union Berlin at home at St. Pauli. This is a Union Berlin team. Nothing really jumps out at me, although I do really like their back three. I think individually all of them are really good players. So, yeah, maybe watch out for them. Laszlo Benes, of course, was a bit of a player at Gladbach and then didn't really make it and then was really good for Hamburg last year. Now he's back. So, yeah, maybe watch out for him. Jordan Sobashoot in attack.
You've ruffled a few feathers with the Jordan Rhodes shout.
Oh, really?
Apparently he was amazing in the championship, which, to be fair, 50 goals in 2 seasons isn't bad.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think we said it was controversial, Dan, so I don't know what.
Maybe I was being controversial saying he was crap above League One.
Not good. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, League One champ, same difference, right?
St. Pauli team's on screen. Yeah, I'm with you, Harry. Bochum team is on screen here. Ibrahima Sissoko, by the way. That's a good move for them.
I forgot
he was handy.
DeWitt left.
Oh, yeah, DeWitt.
And
they're playing Gladbach.
Fun team. Yeah.
You might have heard Manu Kone has left the building. He's away to Roma.
Yeah, I did see that. That's good for me. I just crafted a Rocco Ritz. So he's in my champ team for this weekend, which I'm really excited about. But Kevin Stoger's the boy for these key passes. Like, he is the man, set piece taker.
Reitz is a tackler.
Reitz is a tackler. Yeah, I'll give you that. He is, isn't he? Interceptions. He does like all that. Sort of number 6 stuff. Oh, Dan said it wasn't us that was saying it. Good. I thought I didn't think it was us. Thank you, Dan. We're off the hook.
I thought I did a wee bit, to be honest, but okay. If you want to forget, I'll deal with that.
We'll call it quits.
Frankfurt team on screen here. Really strong 11. I don't think there's a weak player in the side, to be honest with you. So good for them.
Really. Mamouche has basically come out and said he's not leaving to Forest, so that's a big plus for Frankfurt. And
they are playing Hoffenheim. Team on screen here. Again, very consistent. It was same as last week, I think, isn't it? Maybe this guy's different, but otherwise quite solid.
Yeah, Cranbrook smashed, didn't he, last week? 100 from him, which is huge.
And we've got Holston Kiel at home at Wolfsburg. Holtby. Yeah, Holtby, Machino. Wolfsburg. Yeah. Nothing really major going on here. Stuttgart versus Mainz. Stuttgart team is on screen here for you. Yeah, quite solid and quite consistent on what we've seen last week. I think Mittelstad was questionable for last weekend, if I remember rightly, but looks like he's in this weekend.
Yeah, you're right. He came off the bench in the end.
And then we've got Mainz. Again, quite a predictable enough team for the most part. Amiri and co.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Bremen versus Dortmund. This is normally quite action-packed, end-to-end stuff. I did say Werder Bremen might have been all right for a clean sheet last week. They never got their clean sheet, but I think the goalkeeper did score okay from memory. And then the Dortmund team, Adeyemi starting an attack. Back three is really good. I like Sabitzer and Brandt as a pair behind the striker. Team could be really, really strong this year if they keep everyone fit. It's kind of the trick with Dortmund, is it? But under this Nuri Sahin regime, I think this is the sort of shape and the style we're going to see every week now that he's got some players in to facilitate it.
Yeah, they've got some really creative players now, haven't they? In some nice positions like Gross, Brandt, Sabitzer, all quite similarly creative, and yeah, quite fun team actually to get involved in. Reitz is his tackling specialist. Love that.
Great minds think alike. And this is going to be a great game to watch. I don't know if it's going to be a great SO5 match for anyone, but Leverkusen at home to Leipzig. This is the Leverkusen team on screen. Ta confirmed not to be going anywhere. People are telling me Odilon has been sold to Atalanta, which may have surprised a few of you. I think that could be a great move for him. And as we mentioned earlier, Hradecki out, Kovar in. Pretty strong team. Terrier, get a good look at him in this match. Boniface in town.
I think that Kossanu move is quite good for Leverkusen stacks in the sense that like the rotation is just going to be less prominent right in that back three, because that was a nightmare last season. I remember outside of Tar, you didn't really know what was going to happen, did you?
Well, they lost Stanisic last year. Odilon's left, and they've been heavily linked to Nordi Mukiele.
I did see that mentioned.
So I think Mukiele he's kind of like a Stanisic replacement. Wee bit more than an Odilon, because Stanisic played a bit of right back, but also played a bit in the back three.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Mukiele.
He's more of a right back, isn't he, than Odilon? Like, Odilon's a centre half, realistically.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Mukiele is more of a right-sided player than maybe Odilon is. So interesting. See if that goes through.
Yeah, cross my fingers it does. I've got a super in his Heidenheim's team is on screen. If any of these are playing them, there they are. And they're playing Augsburg. Now, without Engels in their team, finally. Their team is on the screen here. Labrovic, the other Schlotterbeck. Tietz. And that's the Bundy.
Yes, the Bundy done. I mean, Bundy's fun outside of the Bayern smash. Like, I know Leipzig are at home, but like, there's not. If you're playing the Bundesliga special in that, the in season or even the classic comp, like, you have to fancy your chances, hoping that Bayern, do a Bayern like last week and concede a couple goals and nearly, cock it all up. It could be wide open, I think.
I agree. I think it's definitely wide open. Like, Bayern should have some of the big scores, but there will be a disappointment between them. Somebody will do a 52 or something crap, So just, you need to be on your toes with that. We'll look at Inter Atalanta. I think with Serie A, we'll just kind of keep it to the headline acts. This is the Inter team. Again, not in season or anything, but there you go. And this is the Atalanta team. I think it's the same team that played last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Very attacking, by the way, this team. De Roon's normally a midfielder. Ruggeri is a left back, but they're playing Zappacosta and Bellanova. So this is like Jamiste is going to be like the lone defender with Ederson covering them, and everyone else is going to be
bombing forward. It feels like we've got a big gung ho that.
It does. It's proper Atalanta football, and they expect Inter will be a bit deeper, match them up in the spaces 3-5-2 versus 3-4-3. And I don't think there'll be a clean sheet for Inter. I'm putting Bologna on screen because somebody asked about Bologna earlier. I think it was the strikers they were asking about. Castro is 60% over Dalinga at the moment. Jesper Karlsson 55 over Inling Junior's 45%. Abishert, Ruler in the engine room. Defense Skripski is all kind of fine. And then they're playing Empoli, Sebastiano Esposito, Lorenzo Colombo. Remember looking at some of these last week. Lazio versus AC Milan. I don't think this is a good game, but it'd be decent to watch perhaps. This is the Lazio team on screen. Tate keeping his spot. Provedel in the house. I thought this guy was a striker as well, by the way, this Dia. I thought he was a striker.
Yeah, I thought he was as well. Maybe they got the wrong picture or something. He's definitely a number 9. He is, isn't he?
Maybe they're doing some sort of funky, like starting midfield, but then as we get the ball,
that's a FIFA tactic, isn't it? When they like,
they've changed the positions with the players and stuff. Yeah. I thought you were going to say it first. Remember, there's a few games where Griezmann kind of played in the midfield three last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe something like that, but yeah, your one stands as well. And they're playing Milan. Luka Jovic is starting an attack.
Wow,
been a while. Rest of the team, but that is except for the right back. The rest of that team is strong, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like powerful.
They're just missing a proper 9 though, aren't they? I know Jovic is a 9, but like he hasn't really scored a goal since that crazy season for Frankfurt like 10 years ago. So yeah, wow.
Yeah, Pavlovic, Tomori. I like that. Reinders, Fofana
scored really well first game. He did like 40 AA.
Nice. See that scene that they signed Pavlovic? I just got a flashback to. Do you remember John Nellis's short with him?
Yeah.
So Nellis, for any of you that don't know this, Nellis got Salzburg to like 100k on YouTube, and they invited him to training. And he's got this short where he's interviewing No. Was it a short actually, or was it maybe a story John told me? I can't remember.
Was it the one when he offered to go home with him or something?
No. I think that John. I can't remember what's content and what's been told to me, but he was telling me, or it was on the content, but he was showing Pavlovic's best scores on SO5, and it was like he had one game where he did a 90, and it was because he got an assist, and Pavlovic remembered the game right away, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't even mean that, by the way." It was like one of those ones where something stupid happened. I can't remember, but he couldn't believe that was his highest rated match, if you know what I mean, because the assist he got was like a pure fluke, or he didn't mean it or something, or it was an accident. So when he signed for AC Milan, I just had that memory in my head of like people looking at his stats and thinking like, oh yeah, this Pavlovic guy gets assists and whatever as well. And then I've just got that wee memory in my mind of him saying he didn't mean it. Napoli at home to Parma. This is the Napoli team on screen. No Billy Gilmore, but Scott McTominay has arrived to much fanfare. It doesn't look like he'll make this game. But there's an Napoli team. Cravadonna, Raspadori, Politano. It should be fun. And Parma. Wylan Saprien. Remember him?
Yeah, he was a bit of he is a bit of a throwback.
Yeah, poor man's Teddy Savernia once upon a time.
Yeah. Everyone's a poor man's Teddy, aren't they? Nobody can come close to those levels. And
then we've got Juve versus Roma. Coop is in at 60%.
King Coop.
I might play him.
No baby Coops over here. This is King Coop time.
I might play him. 60% on. Buzzing. Nico Gonzalez. I didn't see that move happening, by the way, but I think that's a good move for Juve.
That's a great move. Yeah. I rate him highly.
Kenan on their side. And then Roma, who have just signed Manu Sanchez. Roma have had one of the best transfer windows, by the way. I'll have a wee video on it when it's all said and done. But Manu Sanchez coming in here. Lafie can't even make the squad. You know what I mean?
Dovbyk and staying. That's probably the biggest thing, right?
And Dybala, yeah, totally. So yeah, that'll be a good game to watch. I'll probably watch that one. I'll definitely watch that one, I think, depending on when it kicks off. When is it? The first at 7:45. That sounds like Sunday. Or maybe it's Monday.
Padagal reckons Coop won't start, in his opinion. Motta didn't start. Douglas Luiz yet either. So
okay. I wasn't going to play him, but then I seen this. So I'm like, ooh, hiya. Fair enough. Yeah, anything else in Italy worth a look? Maybe Fiorentina Monza, if you've got any Fiorentina cards, but that's the team there. Oh, Quattra's back. That's good. I'll maybe use Quattra now that team's out as well. I'm probably going to have some deadline drama, Harry. I think that's Serie A and the Bundesliga. We'll clean France away quickly, and then we'll do La Liga Prem, and then we'll have deadline drama right all the way to the button, I think, on this one. Leon Strasbourg. Team on screen. This Leon team looks better than the team we've seen last week, I think. I like seeing Ben Rama starting this. Kakere's back. Matic is there. Defense is a bit lackluster, but it must be said.
Yeah, we're not a big fan of their back four there, really. And Strasbourg are choppy.
Caleb Wiley in left mid.
To be fair, he is more of a winger for me than a left back, personally. Like, yeah, I've watched him play live a couple of times, and I really rate him. Like, I don't know whether he'll have an SO5 impact, but he's a powerful runner, like really strong runner.
Andre Santos has returned from Chelsea.
Yeah, that Felix Lamascherel, or whatever his name is, he's really good. He was at Cercle Bruges.
Nah, he was a JPL hero, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then Backwell, like I mentioned, is an absolute demon. Cherky as well. Cherky's just signed a contract extension, I've heard.
No.
I swear to God, yeah. But then I saw another conflict. Jeremy might be able to pull me up on this if he's still in the chat, or maybe Genesis as well. But I saw that it was like it might have even been Fabrizio that said it, 2027, and then Graham saying, yeah, not signed yet. And then I saw conflicting reports saying that it's actually not signed yet. So I don't know. Maybe we get some late Cherky drama because we need it, Quinny, don't we?
If he signs a contract with Leon, we need to phone Amnesty International to get him out of there. Like, this is just taking the mickey at this point if he doesn't leave.
It's actually ridiculous. They're just literally just handcuffing him to just death. Like, they just don't want him to do anything, it seems like.
This is a Toulouse team on screen for anyone that wants it. Mark McKenzie, Charlie Cresswell. It's funny to see. There you go. Marseille, who have just signed top troll, Neil Mopai. I think could rinse Liga if he's playing in this team under De Zerbi. Really strong lineup again.
Could score a bucket, couldn't he? Load of goals.
No Balerdi.
Yeah, no Balerdi. I think that was a little injury, I believe. Or maybe suspended. I can't remember. I did see something. Oh, no, I think he's injured because he's not in the Argentinian squad.
Monaco versus Lens. Quite a strong Monaco team there, isn't it?
Golovin, Ben Seguir. It's a good team. I tell you who's good for those tackles is Magnus Akliucci. I won his super rare a few years ago, like a year ago, and I ended up getting rid of it. But he's one of those, like, he's a midfielder card. But yeah, he just gets loads of tackles.
And then this is the Lens team. Martin Satriano. I won this super rare by accident. Everyone's an accident. But I won him last year. And I ended up watching like his Y Scout stuff just to like, did I keep this guy or not? I didn't keep him. But this guy's a player. Watch out for him. Like, he's a proper big guy and he can whack a ball and he's pretty good.
You won him in Serie A though, didn't you? I'm sure you did. Like, was he a Serie A player or was that a different guy?
He's owned by Inter, but he was at Brest last year.
Got you. Yeah.
I won a Serie A guy a similar time called Colombo, who was like a tier 3 random striker.
The 23 lad.
But this team's kind of fun. This is a Zarawi guy from Burnley. I seen afterwards. Oh Jesus, names just fell out the back of my head. Make it a double Burnley fan. As soon as this move went through, he said, "I'm selling my season ticket." He's like, "Who wants to buy a season ticket?"
He's smashed first game. He's already played for Lens. He played literally last week and scored like an 80 almost, I think. So, yeah, great start for him.
Nice, who have just drawn Rangers in the Europa League. They've got one of the best games, I think. They're away to Angers.
I'm rolling out my Nice defensive stack. Bolka and Dante. I need to get myself a Klaus.
And like we were talking about with Polish goalkeepers, I seen the Penfez one a Bulka. And I was like, there we go. Everyone needs a Polish goalkeeper in their life. Bulka's as good as anyone.
Yeah, especially with Szczesny gone now. So looks like it's
Chesney doesn't count.
anyone's.
Ren team is on screen.
They've been quite disappointing. I think they got battered last week against somebody. They conceded a bucket load.
I know Mandanda did.
Yeah, he conceded a good amount of goals, and Reims haven't really scored many so far. So I don't know how this one actually ends up going. Actually, I only know that because I have Ito, and he's not done anything yet. So,
and then we've got the Sorare meet-up game relived, whatever we call that, the derby of whatever, but Leo versus PSG. Cabea and Segovia. Sorry, on you go. Yeah. Great game. That was a good one. Yeah. David scored. Everyone scored, didn't they? Messi, Neymar.
Neymar scored. Mbappe scored. Messi scored the winner. It was mental. Like, actually ridiculous. Yeah, David scored a couple. Yeah, stupidly crazy game.
But yeah, good team here for them on paper anyway. You've got Cabea and Segovia and Heraldison. You'd fancy them to be capable, but PSG look like another animal since they've finally shed these big contract players. They're finally all gone. You just named them all, but they're all gone, and they feel like a totally different team.
I think, yeah, Luis Enrique said it, like, we have 16 stars now. It's not just 1 or 3, you know, at whatever point they had MSN. So, or not MSN, you know, Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. But yeah, no, they're looking really good, like stupidly good.
Just catching up on the chat and stuff like that in case there's anything I've missed. There's a few requests. We have done everything that you're asking for in the requests that I've seen so far. So yeah, that's kind of all the things that are happening in France. La Liga, I think because we've just had a La Liga match day, we can probably rattle through this kind of quick enough. But Barca team almost in town. Back four is kind of good enough, isn't it? Pedri, Lamau, Louis. Against Valladolid, this should be a good game for them.
That young lad done his ACL, didn't he?
Which young lad?
CDM for Barca. I can't think.
Oh, yeah.
He literally did it. Bentra or something.
No, not Casado. The other one. Yeah.
Begins with B, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done his ACL, which is gutting.
Bilbao's team here. I think it's very much the same as normal, and they're playing Atletico Madrid, who have got a big squad and been rotating and been signing more players. So maybe some guys are hard to predict at the moment, but some of them are quite nailed. Espanyol, Vallecano, I'll probably just skip by that, to be honest with you. Where's the big ones? Valencia, Villarreal, this is a derby for sure. These guys are right next to each other. The Valencia team, Mamardashvili, reinstated as the goalkeeper since the Liverpool transfer and loan back was confirmed. And they're playing Villarreal, who just sold Danjuma to Girona, and I was hoping that would have brought Nicolas Pepe into the team, but it hasn't. It's brought Jose Perez into the team. And then we've got anything else exciting? Sevilla, Girona. Sevilla's team was on.
That's a pretty big game.
Yeah. Sevilla not too bad. I don't think they're that great at the moment. And Girona were really good. They finally beat somebody. They beat Osasuna. What was it, 4-0?
Yeah.
And it was with a kind of shape in a team like this. I don't know if Herrera is 65% on because he came off injured, but I'll check on that before we hit deadline. But yeah, Girona could maybe they're getting into their stride now. So interesting on the notes. But yeah, could be a good one if you've got those cards like I do. Getafe Sociedad, the Quinny Derby, as it used to be called. Not anymore, so I've only got Soria, but used to have quite a bit of these players. And Sociedad's team, Oyarzabal suspended after the red card, of course. I do not think Sadiq is starting over Becker in a month of Sundays. So, yeah, this doesn't feel like intel to me. I think Becker starts this all day, every day. I don't know about Turientes. Maybe Turientes does play this one. The team does kind of pick itself, to be honest with you, beyond that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Martin start over Zubeldia. But again, just watch out for that if you have a Zubeldia. And then Real Madrid versus Betis. Real Madrid stuttering and failing whenever they don't play Rodrigo or whenever they try and give the ball to Mbappe too much. One thing I wanted to say on this, Harry, when we got to it, just right before I say that, but it was over 270 of you here, guys. We've almost got to 140 likes. Could we get to 150 likes? It would be absolutely massive, guys, please. Valverde, I only noticed last night, is wearing the number 8 now, all of a sudden. And I noticed it because I thought it was doing something, and I thought, oh, there's Cruz. And I was like, no, it can't be Cruz. And the commentator actually did the same thing second half. He called him Cruz just because.
No way.
Yeah, just because of the shirt number. And he's
taken
up. He is, Valverde for me is like the closest thing we've seen to Gerrard since Steven Gerrard for me. I think he's like proper, like Gerrard.
Very similar, like stupidly similar body types and running styles. And Valverde's a bit quicker, isn't he? But yeah, he's basically a quicker, more athletic. Not to say Gerrard wasn't athletic, because he could move, couldn't he? But yeah, the long shots, like it is quite a very similar player profile, honestly. I don't know whether
but he's not Cruz.
Passing range. He's not Cruz. He hasn't got the passing range of Gerrard, I don't think. Like, he can pass a ball, but it's not to the degree where, Gerrard's like zinging diags all the time. And obviously Cruz is Cruz. Not the hair.
But yeah, he was wearing the number, and then he was dropping into that pocket. So like when Mendy and Carvajal would go higher, and Madrid would be in possession, Valverde would be like dropping into that Cruz role and trying to like get the ball in the pocket and then break a line for someone.
Right.
And he can maybe do it. He can pass. Obviously, he's a Real Madrid multiple Champions League winner, but he's not Cruz, So, and then you lose the Valverde element in the team, of just how mentally is, going everywhere, getting in everyone's faces and whatever. So it's funny Real Madrid where they're at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely a transitional period, isn't it? I think Ancelotti is really trying to work out what the best formation is, best personnel, because it's not really clicking, is it, if we're being honest?
No, Brahim Diaz was absolutely stinking the place out.
Really?
If anybody's watched the game, oh yeah, I'm not a Brahim Diaz fan at the best of times, but when I seen he was playing over Rodrigo, it's like straight away, like, yes, man, Las Palmas goalkeeper might not concede 3 goals tonight. And this is the Betis team. Victor Roque in from Barcelona looks to be coming into this. Fekir is finally done it. We all kind of were worried about it. He's done it. He's on his way to Red Xland. Can't remember where exactly. It doesn't matter. Fornals and Isco will now kind of be owning that position in the team of creator and all the rest of it. The rest of the team's kind of fine. Away to Real Madrid. You've got to think Real Madrid click into gear at some point. Betis will make it easy for them, but Betis have had midweeks to contend with, so maybe it's a wee bit safer in that regard. But yeah.
Yeah, I think if Madrid start with Arda and Rodrigo, they've got a much better chance of sort of breaking down and scoring multiple goals in a game like that. But yeah, there's no way Brahim starts, like you said, after his poor showing.
And then we come to the Premier League. This is the last league we'll be previewing, and then we'll take some requests as we get the deadline drama done. But we've got Arsenal at home to Brighton. Both of them have got new signings that are instantly crocked, so I don't think they'll make much of a difference to the team we've got here. But Timber playing left back, that does surprise me over Zinni and Calafiori. Are they injured or something? Do you know?
No, he started last week at left back.
Wow, I missed
Timber
that.
did. Yeah, Zinni started the first game, and then Timber's came in last game.
Jude is a big miss as well. Yeah, that probably goes understated on the Real Madrid chat, actually.
Definitely.
Brighton team is on screen. I think it's quite unchanged, isn't it?
Yeah, the only issue is now Verbruggen's back fit, so we don't really know what's going to go on there realistically. 50, yeah, 50. He played midweek. He played in the cup.
I've seen that.
And the managers come out and said, like, I do have a number one. Like, we're not sharing anything here. Like, this is number one type of situation. So, like, but there's only one game until the international break. So I don't know. I think Steele will start. I've gone for Steele personally. I think it's the more obvious option, but it's still tough to say.
Mallorca goalkeeper is 50-50 as well, because someone was asking. But yeah, Brighton Arsenal will be a fun one to watch. I don't know if it's a fun one for cards. Like, Arsenal probably don't get the clean sheet, and funny one.
Welbeck revenge goal.
Welbeck revenge goal. Yeah. Brentford at home at Southampton. Brentford look to be losing Ivan Toney today to Red Xland, I think, because they're not going to get Osimhen. Team's kind of fine enough, isn't it? I've kind of said what I've said enough times about Brentford. I won't repeat it, but yeah, just a bit meh at the moment, lacking a bit of inspiration, you think? Southampton, but could be a good game for them. Again, you mentioned it earlier this season, Adam Armstrong and Bertrand Diaz. This isn't like a cutting edge Premier League attack that we're looking at,
definitely not. Now I've just signed Ramsdale, who obviously will help them, defensively in that sense, in goal. Massive improvement on McCarthy, and just RIP Bazunu.
Yeah. Everton Bournemouth. Everton team is on screen. Doesn't look really any different to what we've looked at over the last few weeks, but no O'Brien, no new centre backs, no O'Brien, no Branthwaite. Let's say Branthwaite. I know he's not new, but in my mind he's like new age. Which is why I'm thinking that. And then Bournemouth, Kepa makes his debut for the looks of it. Huijsen dropped for Sinise. Araujo, is that his first start? I know it's not his debut, but it might be a first start for him. Even Nielsen. This will be interesting. Don't expect there to be many goals, but there will be one or two.
Yeah, definitely. Ipswich, Fulham. This might not be as easy as on paper maybe a Fulham fan would hope. Better team, more quality for sure, but Ipswich at home, we've seen it against Liverpool. Like, they're no mugs, are they?
Issa Diop and Jokie Anderson on a 50-50. I think that's surprising. But no, I think Emil Smith-Rowe could be the difference in this game. You've got a Adama and Iwobi, proper power. I think
Fulham as well. They've got a few good players, haven't they, Fulham? That can really
definitely not to be written off, like you said.
Yeah, just signed Ogbene as well from Luton, which is a nice little signing for them. I really rate him. I thought he was great for Luton last season. He had a bit of an injury situation, but they've strengthened Tuanzebe. Like, they've got half decent players in.
Yeah. They'll give that a go.
As well. Yeah.
Leicester at home at Villa. Leicester team is on screen here. Now, honestly, when you already have Harry Winks in your team, what possesses you to sign Ollie Skip? Look,
and spend 20 million on him, by the way.
What are they doing with that midfield?
Just go buy Tanaka for 3 million. What did they spend on Tanaka?
Tanaka's, is he moved? Is he sold?
Yeah, he's gone to Leeds. It's done. Like, they did the video. It's done. Yeah, I swear on my life. I looked at it this morning.
That's great for me, but his minimum fee was 2.6 million euros.
I think it was around 3 mil. I looked at.
Crazy.
You spend nearly 10x that on Oliver Skip.
Weighty. Absolutely weighty.
They've had a mare, haven't they?
Yeah. The rest of the team's half okay, but when I look at a midfield of Winks and Skip, you are getting relegated.
They just all do the same thing, don't they? Ndidi, Winks, and
left to right. Don't vacate your position. Left to right.
Ndidi's obviously, bit of a decent 6, isn't he, on his day? But Jesus, man, have a bit of creativity or something in there.
I'm with you.
They're missing Dewsbury Hall. They need to replace. You don't replace Dewsbury Hall with Oliver Skip. Come on.
And they replaced Maddison with Winks, just to paint that into perspective. Aston Villa should run them over, I think. The midfield is one of their strengths. They've just had their Champions League draw. They'll be on cloud 9 at the moment. This Costa guy, by the way, gets a good rep from the Villa fans. He's a bit of a bombastic fullback, so watch out for him this weekend. Rest of the team, I think we're all familiar with enough. But yeah, I think this is a good one for Villa. This could be 3-0 Villa to me, in my mind.
Could be. Obviously, Midlands derby, isn't it, in some way?
Yeah, I think there might be some of that on the go. Forest at home to Wolves. This is the Forest team. It's the same story every week, I think, isn't it? For them, Elliot Anderson's at the start this one.
They've been interesting for us, though. I think they've started really well.
Yeah, but it's always a bit of Doy, Gibbs White, Alanga, Wood. This is all we're looking at, really. There's not much else in the team.
Who have they just James Ward-Prowse.
Is it Forest he's going to?
Yeah, it's done.
I thought it was somebody else.
No, it's
I don't know why. I thought it. Yeah, it's Forest. That's good. Well, he can come in. Why would they come in for Elliot Anderson bucks? They've just been a lot of money.
Yeah, but Anderson's not really a defensive. He shouldn't be in a double pivot if that's how. I know this is how it's set up. But I haven't watched Forest, but do you know what I'm saying? Sangare's the deeper player, and then you've got Ward-Prowse for set pieces. But Ward-Prowse, Chris Wood, match made in heaven, maybe there.
Oh yeah.
I think it's more. He's obviously Elliot Anderson's a very good player, but they're obviously very different. Him and Ward-Prowse. So
it's just because the manager brought that Anderson in this window, and it's for a lot of money. So where does he fit in the picture? He
might come on for a Gibbs White, or he can play anywhere across the middle three. He can kind of do anything basically. So where Ward-Prowse is obviously an out and out 6-8 hybrid. So Yeah.
Fair enough. And they're playing Wolves, who have got the team on screen here. Jean-Rickner Bellegarde, and to start this one over Hwang. Otherwise, the rest of the team has been quite consistent so far this year. Wee bit of a change of shape from what they did last year. No more free at the back as well. To keep that noted. And then we've got West Ham playing City. West Ham still don't start Fulkrug. Team was, I guess, still don't know why Souček is starting. But this team's but this is a well-built team.
Yeah, it's a very good team, isn't it? It is a very, very good team. I think Fulkrug, well, I haven't watched him play, but I've seen he's come off the bench twice, hasn't he? So Antonio's obviously, got a rocket up his arse, I guess, and, is trying to still impress and keep his place, which fair enough, but surely Fulkrug comes in at some point, doesn't he?
And I thought we might have got the return, like a start for Gundo in this game.
I still think there's a chance.
There's a chance, I think.
There's a chance.
Yeah, team has been quite consistent over this year so far. Savio has played when he's been available. Doku's been starting every game as far as I can remember. But the rest of the team's been fairly consistent for the most part. So yeah, I don't think City do any less than 2 or 3 goals in this one. But West Ham will definitely fight back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chelsea's pick and mix is... So Chelsea have been quite fortunate, I think, that they've got this midweek football, so they can just play 2 teams every week. Play all their 45 guys that they've got. So yeah, this is quite full strength. This is pretty good. And based on the midweek rotation, what they did with Servette, the following leg into the weekend, it's probably quite predictable.
Definitely.
And then they're playing Palace. Team is pretty good again. I don't see any problems with this. Lacroix, the new signings, maybe a bit too early for him to come into the team. Hughes and Lerma are on a 50-50. I think it would be Lerma. I think you want his strength in that midfield. And Kamada, I wouldn't be surprised if Kamada came off the bench and maybe they started Sar or something like that. But see how it goes. With 2 more to go, and then we'll get into some deadline drama. So we've got Newcastle home at Tottenham. This has got both teams to score both halves written over it for me. I think both of them come out swinging and fighting. The Newcastle team, I was going to say really high quality, but the defence is still threadbare. But the midfield is... I'd be surprised if Tonali didn't start since he's back in the reckoning, but midfield, everyone's available. In attack, everyone's available, I think. I don't know why Almiron's not starting, if it's a preference thing or a knock. But Hall, Livramento, Bruno, Gordon, Isak, all the main boys are there. And then Tottenham look to debut Odegaard. I don't know if it's his debut, but start at least anyway. Kulu in the engine room alongside Maddison with Bissouma defending in behind. This is gung-ho. I know Ange is normally gung-ho, but...
It's a fun team, isn't it?
Brennan, Son and Odegaard front 3 supported by Maddison and Kulu. Like that's it's quite OP for me. Romero and Udogie, we know what they do.
I think there'll be goals in that game.
Oh yeah, both teams to score both halves. Like this is going to be punch for punch all the way.
Yeah, I think we'll see quite a lot of goals in that one.
The goalkeepers will both be quite busy, so if it doesn't get to over 3 goals for one of them, or either of them, like the goalkeepers could still do okay, by the way. Pope and Vicario love a dive and save and all that kind of stuff,
Definitely.
And then this is a big game, isn't it, as well? Talking about derbies this weekend. Man U versus Liverpool.
Massive, isn't it? Huge one. I don't know. From an SO5 perspective, odds are in Liverpool's favour, definitely. But, I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Mainu 30-25 AA quite comfortably. I don't know if Liverpool keep a clean sheet at Old Trafford, if I'm being honest. I think there could be a good amount of goals in this one as well, A little 2-2 maybe. So
the thing I think about this game, right, is that's probably the strongest Man United defence I've seen in a while for a start. It is all Ajax, as we know. But when you then think, oh wow, Man United might be a bit proper. But then see when you look at the attacking line and it's fucking Rashford and Amad Diallo.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree with you. It's not as glamorous, is it, by any means?
But this, I know it's not changed much or anything like that, but this is every department top notch here, isn't it? I think for Liverpool, there'll be a lot of cards in this game. I think I don't know how many goals there might land, but I think Liverpool outscore United quite comfortably on paper.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm either going like a high scoring draw, little Desmond 2-2 maybe, or if any, I don't know. I can't see United winning, if I'm being honest. I know it's at home. I would be shocked if United win. So I'm going double chance draw Liverpool if I can.
There is that kind of Arne Slot element to new to the Premier League and all the rest of it. Although he's not really stuttered so far, has he?
No, and he knows Ten Hag very, very well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's Feyenoord Ajax, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think they might cancel each other out maybe, and it's I don't know. Yeah, it's Liverpool or the draw for me.
Now, guys, we are 17 minutes to the deadline, and I am panicking that I've had some news and I need to maybe adjust or whatever. Harry, have you got any deadline drama to deal with?
Not particularly. I do need to do my training lineups though, but no, I don't think I have necessarily any drama unless I've like missed anything. But I'm going to do a quick little scan of just the prediction side just to see if there's anything I've missed.
Likewise, because
I think we're okay. What have you found?
I wasn't expecting Coop to be in, and I wasn't expecting something else. I can't remember what now, but there's a few things that caught me by surprise today, and I thought I may as well just go and double check a few bits and bobs. What was I looking at there? Sociedad. Yeah, I don't think Sadiq can start over Becker. I just don't think he's good enough. And Devikas, I want to double check that. So I'm kind of going, like, my strategy with this stuff has been about pushing it up to get into the Super stuff into D1. We managed to get into D1 with Champion thanks to the midweek. And that just gives me a lot more strength now to really strengthen my best Super team. I don't need to worry about leagues and La Liga and region and all that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going double attack with this and I'm just going for it. I don't think I'll be changing that team at all. But the other teams are very much open to change. Yeah, I think I was hoping for Pepe to get minutes. I don't think that's going to happen. And I might be able to shuffle some of this around. At rare level, yeah, I think they're all safe. I think Anderson's questionable, so I maybe drop him now. So yeah, I've got a few wee last minute shakes and moves. And then the giveaway teams are really strong because I've put my rare keepers from Challenger into the top tacklers thing. So the giveaway clubs are actually fucking stacked this weekend. We might win some good stuff there. Celtic teams all picked themselves. We know Vickers is in training. And yeah, I don't need to alter any of that. We've got a throwaway under 23 team. Don't think I'll need any of those guys for anything else. Yeah, so it's just Champ Super Rare I think I need to double check on and make sure we're okay with. So let's have a look at Celta Vigo quickly. Do we still have Devikas coming in? Celta Vigo. We still have Devikas in. Awesome. Happy with that. Sociedad. Yeah, I fancy Becker. I'm not changing my mind on that. But I did want to check the Italian stuff because Coop Miners and Quattro are things I'm really interested in. So yeah, I don't think Coop is somebody I would gamble on at this stage. But where's Fiorentina? They did have Quattro in. Yeah, I think Quattro can be good to come in. The rest of that team. So that's the top La Liga team. That's the top champ team, and then this team here, I think I would put Quattro in over Ayer, and then that buffs this up a bit. I'd probably captain Quattro since it's Monza they're playing, and then yeah, we don't. We did think Yanghill might play actually. That's one thing I wanted to.
Did we lose Quinny or did we lose myself? Have I been lost in the ether? Let me know, lads.
I thought something was happening. Sorare are not too happy that we're leaving it this late with the deadline drama. But yeah, Yanghill was on 60%. He came off injured last night. Harry boy, what do you think?
I mean, how long in the game was it? Do we know?
Oh, it was like the 60th minute or something.
I don't know. I mean, if there's nothing that's come out to say that he's not going to play, then I'd probably trust it. But do you need to take that risk?
I don't think I need to. No, it's just if I want to. So I think I like McGinn is one of my best mids. The Angelino plays maybe a bit of a question mark. So let's. Yeah, no, I'm going to leave Angelino there. So I think he's okay for the 8A and stuff. I don't think these games are. So Kamada or Yanghill is kind of what it comes down to. I think I would take Kamada even for a goal off the bench. Whereas if Herrera doesn't start, then it's kind of dead. So I'm probably just going to stick to my guns, actually, on that front. I might not swap that around. Although, if I did, I could upgrade David Lopez to Angelino. I've got the Sociedad boys over there. As Nicolas Pepe, and he's dropped for sure. Because, well, I don't really have any other options, Harry. What do you think for forward? Let's see, using another lineup. Skankov, Cunha, Dovikas, Castellanos. Yeah,
you're not playing Saganikov?
I know, I'm in another team.
Sorry.
I was just checking who was used elsewhere. So I've got Pepe, that'll come off the bench. I've got Stuani, that'll come off the bench. I've got Edward, will come off the bench. And then I've got 3 guys that are really questionable if they'll even be in the squad.
It's got to be one of the bench boys, hasn't it? Probably Pepe. Apparently he looked pretty good, didn't he, in that game? Last game.
Yeah, I had Pepe here. Stuani scored last night. Don't know if Stuani could be another super sub. You know, he punches and bunches when he does the super sub job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Can get a few of them in a row. So I don't know if that's... Villarreal away to Valencia, that's not a great game. I suppose Girona away to Sevilla is not much better. And Edward off the bench against Chelsea. I suppose Chelsea did play midweek.
Yeah, Chelsea did play, yeah.
Edwards, Pepe. Yeah, I'm going to take the Pepe, I think. Oh, no, Namardashvili's in goals. Live chat. Let me know what you think. You don't get subs at AI unless you're playing rivals. Coop is down 0% somewhere else. Yeah. I thought that. I'm sidelining him. But yeah, your last striker, guys, if this was the sort of pick he's had, let me know what you think. That suspension to Oyarzabal means me going double forward elsewhere. It kind of cost me for that team. Yeah, so Dovikas is in and fine. Yeah, I don't really want to change any of these teams, to be honest with you. Angelino's another one I'm kind of flaky on at the moment. But it could be a good game away to Juve. I don't know if it's high scoring or not, but... I think I'm going to make a mix-up. I think I'm going to drop Angelino for Ivan Martin. Because I know he'll play. And if Romeo starts, that'll help him out, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to do that alongside McGinn, Quatra and Castellanos. And then the last team, we've got David Lopez, who we can drop for Angelino, or we can keep, but we'll just drop for Angelino at the moment. The best midfielder is probably Kamada. We do have Ryan Christie away to Everton.
That's not terrible.
I'm going to go with Kamada just for the decisive capability still. And then Pepe, I'm still kind of toying on. And then the last man could be Christie, could be Yanghill, it could be David Lopez. Oh, actually, do you know what? I think the way I want to cut this is actually, I think I want to put... No, I don't. I'm just being stupid. I think I want to put Kamada into midfield here for the goal we might get. Pepe's coming off the bench. And then, yeah, Angelino, just to get this team afloat in case it's half a... Yeah, that's fine. Captain him. So away to Juve. That's fine. Yeah, okay. I think the deadline drama for me is maybe just a bit settled out. 9 minutes to go. Let's have a wee quick glance, Harry. But I think, yeah, I'm pretty well set. I'm quite confident on my combos. Yeah, everyone's quite cool. Oh, yeah, this rare team actually needs shifted because Jokey Anderson is suspect. So if we put Robbo back in as the defender, the best extra player we could get in here, we've got Kang In Lee from the bench, probably. We've got Christie. We've got Nkunku from the bench.
That could work.
Actually, who was in that team below, actually? Team below, I've got Mitoma playing Arsenal. They're all tough games. None of them are easy. Yeah, Anderson's a toughie because if he's out, I'm just going to maybe sling the rare Angelino into this, actually. Used in our lineup just because the AA potential, rather than Mitoma getting brought up from that other team, or using maybe a Kang from the bench. No, I'll probably put him down a team. Angelino. Anyone else sneaking down here that I've not seen yet? And Kunku we've mentioned from the bench, but against Palace, I don't know how great that is. Like, does he get 10 minutes? Does he get 30? You know, that's a problem. Benji Henriks. Lenormand. I could just put Lenormand in. Away to Bilbao, but he could get booked in a game like that. Former Sociedad player. Campo. Frimmers. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to put Frimmers in this. Because he loves a peak. Captain and Robbo still. Yeah, I like that. Captain Frimmers in there. Or not Captain Frimmers. That team 3 can stay the same. Openda, Tate, Mitoma, Angelino. But then that 4-man under 23 team has lost a player. I probably need to squeeze my training in as well, by the way. I'm just thinking. And then 5th man, or last man for this, under 23 defender for a 4-man play. We're looking at McFarlane. We're looking at Kuto, maybe from the bench. Yeah, I think it's probably McFarlane for safety. Just plug that in and forget it. And I think that's the team's rocking and rolling. I'm quite comfortable with most of the combos. Looking back over the predicted 11s we've looked at, I don't think there's any surprises elsewhere. Celtic teams are all looking good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Team C's there. Yeah, I've got no training, Harry. So you can show us your deadline drama, or what deadline, or what teams you've got, and I'll build my training out before.
I'm just gonna have to make a little adjustment to this one.
Let's see what you've got. Aliesh expected to start by who?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things suggesting that maybe.
He played 90 minutes in both the cup games and then get dropped at the weekends for both weekends. I do find that unlikely on patterns, you know. I know football isn't based on patterns, but I'm trying to work it out. What is the native like Bundesliga like newspaper that does lineups for a second opinion?
I'm trying to think of its name now.
Is it? I say Kicker. Is it Kicker? No,
it might
Liga,
be Kicker. Yeah,
Liga Insider. Is that them?
Yeah, it might be Kicker. You know,
I might try Kicker in a second. Where's Leverkusen? Yeah, this Liga Insider thinks Aliesh will start, and then with Kicker. How many minutes we got? 4? Jesus. Kicker. Germany.
I think I'm good to go.
You think you're good to go? How many minutes we got? 4. Jesus, I better get clicking.
A couple of JPL lineups going out. We got quite a few tackler specials. Prem D2, La Liga D1, Champion in season, Champion Classic, Challenger in season, Classics, Rare and Super. That's where most of the cards are at, and then under 23, and of course the Road to Glory, up the Road to Glory.
Up the Road to Glory. Looking good, mate. Sorry, I can't give it my full attention, so I'm clicking buttons like mad here.
That's all good, mate.
just to try and squeeze these training lineups in, and then double check this whole fucking Elias Garcia, because I don't want to miss him if he's playing. I don't think it's a great game for him either. I don't think I'm missing out on much, but he's maybe better than whoever else I've got lined up.
Yeah, I saw that wrist toe with Yuito. I'm not really too fond of this challenger lineup anyway, so yeah, I'm not too worried if he doesn't really play, because I don't really have too much else that can come in for him. Like I could swap him. I could swap him with Moran. Let's do a little Moran swap. We'll do that just in case. Bring Yuito into tacklers. Actually, we'll even just go Jankovic and tacklers. We'll scrap Yuito altogether. Tough game anyway, really, isn't it? Away to the Copenhagens. Yeah, I'm excited. Quite a few games kicking off tonight as well.
Yeah, it should be good. Friday night action.
And you've got a big reward opening.
I do.
Are you going to go live, Quinny, or?
Yeah, probably. I can obviously. Shit, we're 1 minute and I'm panicking over this. Everything. Bane. Oh, do you know what? I don't think I'm IR. Let's get super rare picked. Coop. Oh, yeah, that's about.
And Rich could have an injury as the.
Oh, really? Right, let's try it. 38 seconds. Fucking Jimmy's.
Quick, Quinny.
Oh, no, I've not even got an obvious choice for who to put him in for here.
I just leave it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there's nobody definite going to. Right, I need to get that last training team in, but give it back to you, Harry boy. Last training team.
The fixtures: Luton tonight, Benfica. Got a bit of Genk, Westerlo, Union Berlin, St. Pauli, AZ Welwick. Lots of League 2. And Torino, Venezia. Oh, and a bit of Bundesliga too as well.
I missed that last training team. We're in, guys.
Ooh,
we're in the game week.
Locked and loaded.
Missed that last training lineup. Oh, Jesus. Elias Garcia is going to smash 100 now, isn't he?
Well, it's funny you say that. He was one of the cards at rare level I actually exchanged for that Velasco. So, yeah, it'll be...
double dunted then.
Yeah, it's bound to happen, isn't it? 80 plus. You'll be on all the set pieces. You'll be shrugging Grimaldo off them. Bound to happen, isn't it?
It's going to be slain. Guys, thanks to everyone that's joined us. The first Deadline Show post-studio has been an absolute success. There's been over 150 likes. We're at 155 on YouTube, so thanks very much to all of you that have helped out with that. And throughout the show, we've had great viewers as well. There's more and more of you coming back every week, and for that, me and Harry and all the guys at Predictorfy, thank you very much, of course, for supporting the content, supporting the channel. This is the beginning of the weekend. There's some Friday night football. There's some reward openings. Me and Harry have both got some Mr. Midweeks on the go, and it's going to be a huge weekend of football. Tons of derbies, as we've seen across all of world football, from Portland to Seattle, all the way to Glasgow, all the way to even Lazio versus Milan. Has got a bit of history attached to it and everything else. So, yeah, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Hopefully your teams all do well. Good luck with your rewards tonight. And, Harry boy, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Yeah, all the best this weekend, lads.
Have a good one, everyone. Good luck.